Yes or no?
Yes.
That they're quick toasted to capture that fresh corn flavor. That they're so light and crisp they just about float into your bowl.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ron Howard have given us You See You Broke the Law, now let me finish, this is a jailhouse, let's show some respect. But even the biggest names in Hollywood face challenges just like the rest of us. Recently Ron Howard shared something deeply personal that left fans in shock. Behind the success and fame is a story of struggle and heartbreak. In this video we'll explore Ron Howard's emotional revelation and the tough moments he's faced behind the scenes. Boy, that was a difficult, heartbreaking time and an thing to Toto witness, and it was terrifying, and I wasn't sure Clinton was going to make it out, and I really Ron Howard's journey in Hollywood started long before he even knew it. Born on March 1, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma, Ron was destined for the entertainment industry. His parents Rance and Jean Spiegel Howard were already actors, creating an environment where storytelling and performance were part of daily life. Interestingly, Ron's father wasn't originally a Howard. He was born Rance Ken Holt but changed his name to Howard in 1948 to enhance his acting career. This decision unknowingly gave Hollywood one of its most recognized family names. At the time of Ron's birth, Rance Howard was serving in the United States Air Force. This connection to discipline and structure would later influence Ron's meticulous approach to filmmaking, evident in projects like Apollo 13, where precision and accuracy were paramount. Ron's heritage was a blend of German, English, Scottish, Irish, and Dutch ancestry, adding archness to his background that later informed his ability to craft stories with universal appeal. Ron's childhood was anything but ordinary. While many children went to regular schools, Ron balanced his education with acting, often learning on the sets of television shows. On The Andy Grier Show, where he played Opie Taylor, Ron attended a tiny one-room schoolhouse on wheels. It had plywood walls, a teacher's desk, and a blackboard, giving him an education that was both unique and solitary. Occasionally he was joined by Keith Fido, another child actor from I Love Lucy, but more often than not Ron was the only student. Despite his growing fame, Ron's parents worked hard to give him a grounded life. They enrolled him in public schools in Burbank, California, including Robert Louis Stevenson Elementary and John Bros High School. This mix of traditional schooling and acting kept Ron connected to a sense of normalizing his parents valued deeply. Even with his early success, the family lived modestly. Most of Ron's earnings were saved in bonds and accounts, with his parents taking only a small management fee. Dinners were simple meals like meatloaf or fish sticks with the occasional treat at Sizzler or a medieval-themed restaurant. Their frugality ensured that fame didn't change their values. Ron's acting career started earlier than most could imagine. When he was just 18 months old, his first role was in Frontier Woman in 1956. By age 5 he was appearing on hit TV shows like The Twilight Zone and Dennis the Menace, but it was at age 6 that his life changed forever when Hugh was cast as Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show. This role made him a household name and provided him with lessons that would shape his future career in entertainment. One of the funnier moments from his time on the show involved food props in scenes where Opie was supposed to eat ice cream. Ron was shocked to find his cone filled with cold, lumpy mashed potatoes. The studio lights were too hot for real ice cream, and Ron had to act like he was enjoying every bite, try licking mashed potatoes and smiling as a 6-year-old. Ron later joked that was acting. Ron also got his first taste of collaboration on the set of The Andy Griffith Show at age 7. He suggested a line change to make the dialogue sound more natural for a child. To his surprise, the suggestion was accepted. Andy Griffith, ever encouraging, told him that's the first idea that was any damn good. Now let's do the scene. At just 8 years old, Howard landed a key role in The Music Man 1962, where he played Winthrop Peru, a young boy with a lisp. This role was a challenge for Howard as he had to convincingly adopt the speech impediment while sharing the screen with experienced actors like Robert Preston and Shirley Jones. The film became a huge success, earning 6 Academy Award nominations and becoming one of the top-grossing films of the year. Howard's performance stood out for its natural charm and maturity, proving he could hold his own in high-profile productions. In 1963, Howard's acting range expanded further when he starred in The Courtship of Eddie's Father alongside Glenn Ford. This role required Howard to portray a boy navigating the complexities of grief and new beginnings as he tried to find a new wife for his widowed father. The film's more serious themes gave Howard the chance to showcase deeper emotional depth. Interestingly, his real-life father, Rance Howard, appeared in a minor role, marking the first of several on-screen collaborations between the two. Howard's career took a pivotal turn in 1974 when he starred as Richard Cunningham in the television series Happy Days. The show, set in the 1950s, quickly became a cultural phenomenon, and Howard's portrayal of the wholesome all-American teenager resonated deeply with audiences. What many might not realize is that Howard's role in Happy Days was directly tied to his performance in American Graffiti 1973. The success of the film convinced ABC to revive the Happy Days concept, which had previously been a failed pilot. While Richie Cunningham became one of Howard's most iconic roles, the show's Growing focus on Henry Winkler's Fonzie caused some tension behind the scenes despite occasionally feeling overshadowed. Howard and Winkler maintained a close friendship, one that has lasted for decades. Howard's role in American Graffiti was a defining moment in his career, bridging the gap between his work as a child actor and his future as a filmmaker. Directed by George Lucas, the film offered a nostalgic look at American youth culture in the early 1960s. The movie, made on a modest budget of $777,000, became a surprise hit, grossing over $15 million and cementing its place as a classic. Howard almost didn't get the part. Lucas originally wanted unknown actors, and Howard's fame from The Andy Griffith Show made him a risky choice. However, his audition, which involved improvising a scene about buying alcohol underage, won Lucas over. Filming American Graffiti was a transformative experience for Howard. Shot over 28 chaotic nights in Northern California, the production gave him a front-row seat to Lucas's innovative film making techniques. This sparked Howard's interest in directing, a dream he would eventually pursue. The film's success also opened doors for Howard in both television and film. His performance in American Graffiti directly led to his casting in Happy Days and offered him opportunities to explore more mature roles, such as his appearances in The Tutors 1976 with John Wayne and TV movies like Locusts and The Migrants in 1974. After years of acting, Howard transitioned behind the camera, and his first major studio film, Night Shift 1982, became an early success. This comedy starred Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton, with Keaton delivering a breakout performance that launched his career. What many don't know is that Howard fought hard to cast Keaton despite the studio pushing for a more established actor. Keaton's energetic role not only impressed critics but also earned him an award from the Kansas City Film Critics Circle. The film grossed $21.1 million on an $8.1 million budget, proving Howard could handle a comedy with both humor and heart. Howard's next big step came with Splash 1984, a romantic fantasy about a mermaid and a man who falls in love with her. This movie introduced Tom Hanks as a leading man, although the role was initially meant for John Travolta, who turned it down. The script took years to finalize, going through over 20 rewrites by different writers before Howard joined the project. Filming wasn't easy. Daryl Hannah, who played the mermaid, spent so much time in the water that she developed skin problems and temporary blindness due to the chlorine. Despite these challenges, Splash became a surprise hit, grossing $69.80 million domestically and solidifying Howard's reputation as a reliable director. In 1985, Howard achieved a major breakthrough with Cocoon. This sci-fi drama explored themes of aging, mortality and hope, winning 2 Academy Awards and grossing $85.3 million worldwide. Interestingly, Howard wasn't the studio's first choice. The original director, Robert Zemeckis, was fired after poor test screenings of his previous film. At just 31 years old, Howard had to earn the respect of an ensemble cast that included Hollywood veterans like Jessica Tandy and Donnie. One fun fact is that Wilford Brimley, who played an elder-like character, was only 49 at the time and had to undergo daily makeup sessions to look older. The film's groundbreaking special effects, which combined practical techniques with early CGI, earned it an Academy Award for visual effects. Howard's career reached new heights with Apollo 131995, a gripping retelling of the real-life space mission. The film was a critical and commercial triumph, grossing $355.2 million globally and earning 9 Oscar nominations. Howard worked closely with NASA to ensure historical accuracy to film scenes of weightlessness. The cast and crew flew in NASA's Vomit Comet, enduring over 600 parabolic flights to achieve the effect. Tom Hanks joked about feeling constantly sick, but the effort paid off in creating one of the most realistic space films ever made. Then came A Beautiful Mind 2001. A biographical drama about mathematician John Nash's struggle with schizophrenia. The movie grossed $313 million worldwide and won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. While the film took creative liberties with Nash's life, adding visual hallucinations that Nash himself never experienced, it brought attention to mental health issues and sparked important conversations. Howard's direction earned him the Academy Award for Best Director, a crowning moment in his career. In his heartfelt acceptance speech, he acknowledged his roots as a former actor and expressed gratitude for a dream he once thought was impossible. Howard's success wasn't without controversy. Some felt A Beautiful Mind didn't deserve its Best Picture win, with critics arguing that films like Mulholland Drive or The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring were more deserving. In the wrong directional journey, the most notable venture was adapting Dan Brown's best-selling novels into the Robert Langdon film series. It began with the Da Vinci Code in 2006, which despite mixed reviews became a global phenomenon. The film earned $7.58 million worldwide, ranking among the highest-grossing movies of that year. Interestingly, the series did not follow the book's chronological order. Angels and Demons, the first novel in the series, was adapted as the second film in 2009. This strategic decision reflected Howard's focus on audience engagement over strict adherence to the source material, ensuring the franchise's momentum after the massive success of The Da Vinci Code the series faced significant challenges. Religious groups criticized it and it was accused of historical inaccuracies, yet Howard persisted and completed the trilogy with Inferno in 2016. Over the course of the 3 films the franchise grossed more than $1.5 billion, demonstrating Howard's ability to turn controversial literary works into box office successes. An interesting twist in the series' production history is the shelving of The Lost Symbol, which was originally planned as the 3rd film instead. Inferno took its place and The Lost Symbol was later adapted into a TV series in 2021. Though Howard was not involved, this shift highlights the unpredictable nature of Hollywood even for directors as established as Howard. Howard's creative scope extended beyond fiction when he took on the Beatles 8 days a week, the touring years. In 2016 this documentary focused on the Beatles' early career from 1962 to 1966, a period defined by their electrifying live performances. Unlike his narrative films, this project required piecing together over 100 hours of rare footage, including the iconic 1965 Shea Stadium concert. Restoring the concert footage was a monumental task involving 4K resolution digitization and sound remastering by Giles Martin, son of the Beatles' original producer George Martin. Just before the film's release, a legal dispute erupted over the ownership of the Shea Stadium master tapes, adding unexpected tension to the project. Despite these hurdles, the documentary was a critical and commercial success. It grossed $12.3 million on a $5 million budget and earned a Grammy Award for Best Music Film in 2017. It proved that Howard could excel in the documentary genre, crafting stories that resonate deeply with audiences. In more recent years, Howard has continued to explore new directions like Hillbilly Elegy. Howard directed this film based on J.D. Vance's memoir. Back then politics wasn't a big topic between them. They focused on Vance's life story, not his views, but now Vance's close ties to Donald Trump and his role as a vice president have left Howard deeply concerned. At the Toronto International Film Festival on September 9, 2024, Howard admitted he was surprised and concerned by the direction Vance has taken. He said that when they worked together, Vance wasn't politically involved. Howard's disappointment was clear when he said, "There's no way I would ever support Donald Trump no matter who his running mate is." For someone who usually avoids public political debates, this was a strong and unexpected statement. Just days later, Howard was in a much lighter spotlight at the 76th Primetime Emmy Awards. On September 15, 2024, he reunited with Henry Winkler to celebrate 50 years of Happy Days. The Emmy stage was transformed into Arnold S. Drive-In, the diner from the show, complete with vintage booths, a jukebox and pennants on the walls. The attention detail brought fans right back to the 1950s. One of the most fun moments came when Winkler hesitated to do the fans' famous jukebox move. He joked that he was out of practice, but after some encouragement from Howard, he pulled it off, hitting the jukebox with his signature punch. The audience loved it and the chemistry between the two actors was as strong as ever. Winkler later said that their connection has always been natural even after so many years. Meanwhile, Howard has been making headlines for his new film Eden. It premiered on September 7, 2024 at Toronto International Film Festival. The movie is based on a true story from the 1930s about settlers on Florian Island in the Galapagos. These settlers tried to start new lives but ended up clashing in dangerous and deadly ways. The movie is a mix of thriller, dark comedy and historical drama, showing a very different side of Howard's directing. The film stars Anna de Armas, Jude Law and Sydney Sweeney. Critics have praised Dermis for her role as a self-proclaimed baroness who stirs up trouble. They called her performance vicious and magnetic, adding a lot of intensity to the film. While Eden has received mixed reviews with a 63% score in Rotten Tomatoes, many viewers admire Howard for stepping out of his comfort zone and tackling a darker, more complex story. Filming Eden wasn't easy. Most of it was shot in Queensland, Australia instead of the Galapagos because of the challenges of filming in such a remote location. A small team did film in the Galapagos to capture the island's unique look and feel. These challenges mirrored the struggles of the characters in the movie, who faced hardships as they tried to survive in an unforgiving environment. Apart from films, Ron Howard's life is all about love, family and staying true to what matters most. He has been married to Cheryl Ally since June 17, 1975, but their story began much earlier. They met as teenagers at John Burroughs High School in Burbank, California. Their first date was on November 1, 1970. It was simple. They watched It's a Mad World and shared pizza. This small beginning grew into a strong and lasting relationship. Ron asked Cheryl to marry him 3 times before she said yes. Their wedding was full of family, friends and even some of Ron's co-stars from The Andy Griffith Show and Happy Days. Over the years, Ron has called Cheryl his biggest supporter. He often says that good communication is the secret to a happy marriage. Cheryl is more than just his partner, she is also part of his work. She has acted in small roles in his movies like The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. Ron even believes she brings him good luck when she appears in his films. Ron and Cheryl have 4 children and they worked hard to give them a good normal life. Their oldest, Bryce Dallas Howard, is an actress and director. She has been in movies like The Help and Jurassic World and has directed episodes of The Mandalorian. Ron was nervous about Bryce starting a career in Hollywood because He knows how hard it can be. Booth supported her and is proud of what she has achieved. Their twin daughters Paige and Jocelyn followed different paths. Paige acts in movies and TV shows like Adventureland and Medium, while Jocelyn stays out of the spotlight. Their youngest Reed chose something completely different. He became a professional golfer. Ron and Cheryl have always encouraged their kids to follow their dreams no matter what they wanted to do. Now grandparents to 6 grandchildren. Ron and Cheryl love spending time with their growing family. Ron often says that his family is his greatest achievement. He works with his children on creative projects which brings them closer together and makes his work even more special. For Ron, family is everything. His love for Cheryl, his kids and now his grandkids shows that his biggest successes are not just in Hollywood but at home. His life is proof that staying connected to the people you love